Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Angela, and we are married
And bored. Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 25 of the Married and Bored podcast.
We're so happy you're here.
Yeah, it's Christian and
Angela.
We're back again with another episode. We're very happy to talk with you. We hope everybody has had a great last couple weeks. Hopefully it is wintry where you are.
Not so much here.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the holidays, so everybody is either playing lots of games because they're home, or maybe the opposite, they don't have time.
Right.
So I think we kind of lean into that we don't have time as of late, but we're here to talk about games. We're having fun.
Yeah, we will carve out time.
That's right.
For games.
Ange, how have you been?
So I've been good.
Not that I wouldn't know.
Yeah, we do live together. Recently we've been able to play two different scenarios of Exit, the escape room games, and I've always been intrigued by these because I'm interested in the puzzle aspect. We have not tried a number of in-person escape rooms, but I like the idea of solving some sort of mystery, working clues and codes, and I've just never been able to pull the trigger on these games because they are not replayable.
Yeah, totally.
And so we got the chance to try some because one of our friends had bought some for his family. They played them and then said, "Hey, do you want to try?" And we were like, "Yeah, let's try." So I don't know if this is good or bad, but now that I've played one, I like them even more.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, wow.
But I still can't get over the fact that they're one and done. So even though I know I like them and they satisfy that, puzzle and the itch I was trying to scratch, I just don't know if I could ever buy one.
Just wait for our friends to buy more.
Well, that sounds awful too. I'm not trying to say that. I just feel like, I would love to hear from someone, and I know this isn't like a two-way conversation.
We're getting a call.
Yeah, we're not getting any callers in, but I would love to know how someone, I mean this in the best way, how someone justifies those kind of purchases. Is it like, you were trying to explain to me that, think of it like an experience like going to the movie.
Yeah.
If it's a date night and you're going to a movie, that's not replayable either. That's $30 down the drain in a sense. You get an experience out of it and then it's done. You don't get to carry the movie home. So that made sense to me. And I guess that's what you're paying for, is this experience that's one and done. But it just got me thinking that I like them more. I really do. And I told Christian, I was like, maybe we can find some exit escape room like Facebook group where people just exchange games around.
Yeah, I'm sure that is a thing somewhere. Yeah, we've played two of them, like you said. I think the ones we've actually played are the unlock ones, which are they're the same thing as Exit.
Oh, okay.
They're just an escape room in a box type thing. We actually did the Star Wars one, which of course I had a really good time doing. We've only done one of the 3 scenarios, I think, in there. But yeah, it's fun. It is a bummer that it's one, and then once you solve it, there's no point in going back, unless you want to try to get a faster time. But if you already know what to look for, then what's the point? Right.
It's lost its mystery, and now you're just trying for speed, I guess. But that doesn't seem fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, even if we didn't beat it, I don't know that it would intrigue me to try again.
No, because we didn't beat one of them.
Yeah.
We did that cowboy one, and we didn't figure it out. And then they told us the answer, and we were just like, oh, it's him. Okay. We missed that.
Yeah, so if someone can point us towards a group that exchanges these games around, that would be really intriguing to me because I love playing them. Now that's been confirmed. It's not just an idea. And I would love to be able to buy it, but not feel... I feel like it's too harsh to say wasting my money. because you do get one experience out of it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a waste. I think you do get that one playthrough, you enjoy it. And I think I would guess what a lot of people do is they just give them away to people who maybe don't play a lot of board games. I think it's a good, hey, you want to play a new style of game? Do this.
Right.
It's not Clue, it's not Monopoly, it's a card game and you just try to solve puzzles by connecting the dots, basically.
True.
So I think that's a good way, because we get asked that every once in a while. What's a great game to play with my 8-year-old? And we have a 7-year-old, but like, that's such a hard question to answer sometimes.
Especially if you don't know what the family is looking for, like what kind of...
Yeah, it's like, well, baseball's a great game to play with your 8-year-old. But is 5-Minute Marvel the answer, or is something like Unlock, if there's like a more family friendly scenario, like an Alice in Wonderland, or like the Star Wars one?
Yeah. And maybe the trip up for me is that, and I know it's, for some people this might seem like a silly semantics argument, but maybe I have to stop calling it a game and start calling it an experience. And then it will seem like it's worth it. Because all the games we have on our shelf are way more replayable than this. And that's what gets me tripped up, is like, I'm paying for a game that I can never play again. Instead, I should just think of it as like, oh, it's an experience. It's a date night experience.
Yeah.
You know?
My favorite thing about them, in the very few games that we've played of it, is just after it's done, seeing how everything is connected. I don't care about getting there, if that makes sense. Like, after the fact, it's like, oh, this is connected to this, and then this. Like, what are all the connections that you may have missed? Or does that make sense?
A little bit, although we both like different things about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't care if we win. I just like seeing how we get there, I guess. The ride.
Oh, no, you have to win.
I know that.
Okay, Christian, what's up with you?
Well, I think we've talked about it the past couple episodes, but the BGG Board Game Geek Secret Santa is actually winding down here as we get closer to Christmas. We sent our gift out, so I don't know if you're listening. I hope you enjoy Wingspan.
Woohoo!
And your Lord of the Rings LCG pack that you wanted. So that's what we sent out to our... he's not our Secret Santa, he's like our recipient.
We are his Secret Santa.
There you go. Yep, we are Santa to this person. So that was really fun to buy and to find like an older Lord of the Rings one that he was looking for. Our game store actually had it, so that was fun to get. And
support a local game store.
Yeah, and send that out. So that was cool. And our Secret Santa sent some more gifts to us. We mentioned earlier we got a book and coffee, and we got Point Salad and Seven Wonders, right?
Duel. Seven Wonders Duel.
That's right. Which we've played since we've chatted last. And it's really fun.
Love it.
It's a good game. I'm trying to think if we've both won or if it's lopsided one way or the other.
No, they've both been civilian victories from Christian. The first one was pretty close, and the second one was my face was in the mud.
That's right.
So that's fine.
I had a bunch of those blue cards that just had so many points. That's right.
I'm laughing because I will cry if I don't laugh.
Yeah. And if you're looking for a good 2-player game to play this holiday, Seven Wonders Duel, it's pretty easy to pick up, and it's just a good back and forth game that you score points and try to beat your opponent. It's not too cutthroat. It could be if you play it that way, but it's not.
So what else did our Secret Santa send us?
Right. So what they sent us a package specifically for our children, which was really cool. So we got 5-Minute Marvel, which is a play on 5-Minute Dungeon. And then we got a game called Monster Baby Rescue, which we had not heard of. 5-Minute Marvel we had, and not looked at it too much, just we've always seen it. Our kids are crazy for superheroes right now. So this was like the perfect fit. And
it was so good.
The first time we played it, like how excited was our daughter as we were setting it up. She could not sit still.
No, she couldn't stop talking about it afterwards either. Just like that nervous, excited energy was just like
Yeah.
pouring out of her.
And
they loved that the app,
yes.
Jarvis talks to you on the app.
Yeah. And usually it's the opposite. Like our son is the one who can't sit still and doesn't be quiet. And our daughter is very quiet, like me, and just kind of sits there and observes everything. But she was so excited. The best thing about this is we played our first round and we all won. We all were like, yeah! And then the app goes, good job. Now next time, be quiet. And they freaked out. Like, it was the perfect response that the app could have done because we cheered so loud. And they've been waiting for him to respond that specifically since then,
yeah.
which is really funny.
Yeah, they don't get that they're like canned app responses, that he's not actually adjusting his app response to that environment.
But that was really cool. It's a cooperative game, so everybody's on the same team, and it's 5 minutes per round. And
that's the best part. Because it's like, I mean, of course, setup and teardown takes a little bit, but it's like, if we have 15 minutes before it's time to get ready for bed and all that jazz, we're like, okay, we can play 5-minute Marvel.
Yeah, we can play it twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
It's really fun. The characters and the art is really cool for them. So they've played this game. Oh my gosh, we've had it, 2 weeks maybe? And we've probably, as a family, have played it like 5 times. And they have learned how to do it on their own and probably done it twice as many as that. So it's crazy. So that's a good one to look forward to. Then the other one that we got sent was called Monster Baby Rescue, which is something I had not heard of. How would you describe this one, Angelo?
Well, this isn't a description, but what you said reminded me, since we've received it, I have seen it in 2 different places.
Oh, really?
On our, just people we follow on Instagram.
Oh, that's cool.
But you had never heard of it before this. I think this is great because they are introduced to mechanics that are going to be so much simpler, a good foundation for mechanics that will make games that are harder simpler, if that makes sense, in the future as they graduate to...
Yeah, it introduces mechanics that a lot of games today use, whether that's buying from a market or getting multiple points based on how many of this stuff you have. Those are 2 examples. In this game, you can get beds for your monsters, and the more beds you have, the more points. There's also like end of game goal type stuff where if your monster's this big, you get extra points, and there's a lot going on. But we played it once or twice. They picked it up. As of right now, it's not as exciting to them as Marvel, 5-minute Marvel.
Yeah.
But I think this will be a good one. I'm excited to play it again.
I think like because we played it right after 5-minute Marvel.
Yeah.
Of course, the intensity goes down because there's no timer.
Yeah.
It's like they're used to going, Jarvis is counting, you know? And now it's like just a normal game. And it probably wasn't good to do those back to back.
No. So we will definitely play it again and report back. But it's a simple game. You just try to upgrade your little baby monster, and there's like a troll monster, there's a dragon, there's like a bear type monster. So they were excited to kind of pick who they wanted to upgrade and care for in this game.
Yeah, it was cute. I like the art too.
Yeah, it was good. So yeah, we're obviously very impressed from our Santa. So hey, if you're listening, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Hope you have a good holiday, and
yes.
Thanks again.
All right.
Let's let's just take a break and get ready for our main segment. We're going to talk about the game Parks.
All right, guys, we are going to be talking about Parks, which is a game that's been out for a bit here. And it is in celebration of oh my goodness.
National parks?
There we go. Why can't I say it?
They're also natural.
That's true.
This is a really fun game. It actually just ended a Kickstarter for a second printing and a little expansion, which we'll touch on at the end. But we thought it'd be a great time to talk about this game. We've had a lot of fun playing it.
Yes. And hopefully you'll see why as we discuss it. But first, let me tell you what this game is. So Parks is a competitive game for 1 to 5 players, so it can be played solo. Players take on the role of hikers on a trailhead. They acquire gear and resources and pictures. Not acquire pictures, but take pictures. And as players do these things, they visit parks, and it's all in an effort to gain the most points at the end of the game. All right.
Yeah.
Did I forget anything?
I don't think so. I'm just trying to think of if there's anything we want to touch on before we just jump right into it, but let's just do that.
Let's jump.
Yeah, let's talk about how easy it is to set up and tear down. I would say we would say that it's fairly easy to set up and tear down.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually go backwards and say that the teardown is awesome because the box storage is just perfect.
Oh, yeah. The number one thing about this game is that it comes with game trays with a Z, so you know it's good.
Love the trays with a Z. Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, everything just fits in such a nice tray, and there's like spots for everything, and I think they're even...
It's shaped like a tree. Look at it.
Oh, it's so good. Do you hear those pieces tinkling in the background?
Yeah, everything nests together really well, and everything has a spot, which, as you put it away, just makes me happy.
Yes.
Another game that does this that we have is the, I can never say it, Wasteland Delivery Express.
Nope.
Nope. What is it? Express Delivery Wasteland Service?
Well, I think you're doing it just to be annoying.
What is it?
Wasteland Express Delivery Service.
Okay, that one. That one comes with games trays with a Z as well. And it helps. Every game, maker, add game trays.
Well, I mean, not that we want to take places like Broken Token out of business, because they do make beautiful game inserts that we have used.
And that's true.
But it is nice when the game is built with the tray inside.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's more that makes it easy, I think. So we've talked about this before, but usually the smaller the box of the game, the less daunting it is to set up and tear down. There's probably some exception to that rule, but this is, a smaller size box, and it just has a couple decks. No, probably more than a couple. There's probably like 4 or 5 decks, but they're mini cards and then giant cards.
Yeah, that are the parks, which are really cool.
There's a small, it's not really a game board. Well, I guess it is. It's a trailhead that you build each round. That functions as your game board. But really simple. And because everything has trays for the tokens, it's not messy. It seems like it has a lot of components that are very beautiful and well made, but it's really not messy, and it's not cluttered, and it comes out simply and it puts away simply. Yeah,
there is a lot in this box, even though it is small. But because of the trays and because of how specific, that's not the right word, specific where they go. They all have a purpose in where they go. Yeah. It makes both putting it away and taking it out to play just that much more easier. So it's a great one. Let's jump into learning to play, Ange. What would you say about learning to play Parks?
I think this one is accessible to every type of player. And usually we just have to speculate about that because we don't often play with non-board gaming people.
True.
But we have actually played this one with friends, and one of them is not a modern board gamer, and they took onto it and played it really easily. They actually played it without us teaching them the rules. Like, they just took it home.
They borrowed it.
Yeah, as an idea for a good game to play. And they said they caught on to it, they liked it, and they had a good experience.
Yeah.
And so that is actually, I think, really enough proof that anyone can play this game. And, I like that it has a point of interest for people that are outside the gaming. Like we were talking about how most things are like either sci-fi or like
Most board games have a theme that is not like generally interesting to everybody.
right.
I think everybody has been to the woods or the forest or the desert.
Or knows what a natural park
Yeah,
is,
everyone in the
national
United
park
States, at least, they know what the Grand Canyon is. So that helps just put this in front of people and make them that much more interested.
Agreed.
So, yeah, in terms of like the direct rules, there's not a lot you have to do each turn, so explaining it is not very complicated. You can only move your person forward. You can't go backwards. You can only go on another person's space if you have the ability to do so. All the cards' resources are very clear. They're, very colorful, and it tells you exactly what you have to pay in order to, quote, visit that park.
Yeah.
All games visit as many parks as you can. To do so, you have to collect resources like, well, they're natural resources, so like water, sunshine, mountains,
Trees.
and trees, right? And then my favorite part is they have the wild tokens, which are shaped like animals.
Because they're wild animals. Get it?
Yep.
Oh, but
Yep. So that probably, bleeds over into the immersivity. That's a word, of this game too.
I've said it before. So.
Yeah. Anything else about learning to play, Angela? Do you think that we needed to?
No, I think, you probably could determine whether it's right for your family get-togethers, but if you are getting together even in a smaller group this Christmas, it might be something that appeals to that group of people, even if they're not modern board gamers or would say that they would not be board gamers at all. This might be a good gift to give a family.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're not seeing them.
And the great thing about this one is it has been not available for the longest time.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it started showing up at Target and everywhere.
Yes.
So definitely check it out if you're interested. You can get it at Target. That's where we got ours. Because we missed out on that Kickstarter.
Technically, we had been looking for it for a long time, and then our friend saw it at Target.
That's right.
And he snatched it up for us, and we paid him back.
That's true. That's true.
That's how you work friendship. Yeah. All right, let's talk about how immersive it is. What do you think, Christian?
Well, I'll let you read it because these are your words, and I would never say this out loud.
Oh, okay. So how immersive I feel it is?
Read those first 3 words.
Okay, well, I do make notes just to kind of jog my thinking before we jump on the podcast, and my notes here were, gosh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. The artwork is spectacular on the cards. It has fun facts at the bottom of the cards that, you know what, Christian? I'm surprised you're not reading facts already.
Well, I was trying to figure out some facts to read, but then it just didn't make sense to randomly do a fact before we started talking about the game. But the facts are cool, and I just realized that the facts, they also say what state it's in.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until the last time we played. It has the abbreviation of the state, so that's pretty cool. So if you're wondering, like, oh, where's this? Is this close to me? We have the internet, but you can also just look at these cards. But you got to know what the state abbreviations are. So there's a little quiz. Here's a little quiz for you. What is OH?
It's a toughie. Ohio.
Okay, good job.
Oh, you were actually asking.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, Ohio. Yes, the making of the trailhead, which functions as your game board, that's clever, I think, to draw you into the fact that you're hiking on a trail.
Yeah, the trail gets longer and longer each round because you keep on adding like these chevrons to the arrow. It's kind of like a big arrow that you traverse across, and they all have different actions, and it's different every time. And those are just as pretty as the cards. There's some great art in this. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And there's just kind of a mechanic in the game where you can get one-off points, and I like that they call it taking pictures. So you're taking pictures of the trail as you go. I mean, as far as, is it the most immersive game? No, there's no grand story. But it does make you think about visiting these parks and wanting to go to these places and where they could make it immersive instead of just saying, collect points along the trail. They said take pictures along the trail that give you points. I think That's pretty cool.
Yeah, all the mechanics are very thematic, which is great. Like there's a canteens that you can get that and once you fill up your canteen, it gives you an extra bonus action, and you can carry multiple canteens. Angela mentioned the pictures. There's a campfire mechanic. You know, it's all pretty great and very connected, which is really cool.
Oh, the gear.
You can buy trailhead gear that gives you even more bonuses, like a trailhead pass. There we go. And it will allow you to like purchase and visit parks cheaper.
Yeah. Or certain, like, it makes sense that gear would make it easier for you to traverse the trail.
Yep.
So all these things make sense, and we've talked about how the cards are beautiful, but also the components, the resource components are
everything's wooden, which is very nice. Even the hikers are cool. There's a little like funny art on the side of the hikers, so they're just not normal meeples, which are dumb. They actually look like what they're supposed to look like.
They look like hikers.
That's right.
So it's not going to be story driven, but it is.
No, I don't think the immersiveness of this game comes from any story. It's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The box is beautiful. All right. So then the fourth thing we usually talk about is fun. Is it fun? Do we have fun playing this, Christian?
Yeah, I have fun playing this. I think it's in the middle of the road fun. I guess it's not roller coaster. Well, not
is anything roller coaster?
Not for you, but I'm just trying to think like scream out loud fun. It's a good game. It's a quick game. It's nothing too thinky. So if it's late at night and you are wanting to play a game but you just don't want to like toast your brain before you go to bed, this is a good one. It's fairly quick. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's fun. And that sounds so mediocre, but I just mean that it's a fun time when you play it. I don't think that it's the most fun game I can think of, both laugh out loud fun and also strategically fun. So, but I never regret playing it. I have a good time, and it fits that little pocket of time, like you were saying, where maybe you're not tired right now, but you really don't want to break out like a big game.
Yeah, at 9 p.m.
Yeah, or you had a hard day at work in terms of using your brain, and you're just like, I want to play something, but I don't want to think super hard. This would be good, and it might fit that good time between dinner and dessert, at a family gathering. So I think we have fun with it, and we look forward to playing it when we take it off the shelf.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I will say in terms of what makes it even more fun is more players.
Yeah.
Now, we've played, obviously, the majority of this game at 2. At this point, I'm kind of like overplaying it at 2 because there's only so much you can do.
Right.
And I feel like you get more resources than a normal game. We've played it with 3. And it made it that much more difficult to decide what to do. Because you can't go on a space where there's a hiker. So if there's more hikers, then there's less spaces to go to.
It becomes way more strategic.
Yeah.
Because you have a limited amount of space on the trail, and the number of hikers increases, it's going to be interesting.
Yep. Everybody's got 2, which is also interesting in this game. So even though you have 1 out on the board, 1 may not have started yet. But again, the one trail marker that you want to go to is taken, so you can't go there. So you have to jump over it, or do you wait, or do you use the action where you can go where someone else is? There's a lot going on there when it's when it's more than 2 people. The board is way more wide open when it is 2. I can't imagine what this is like at 5, but it's probably pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing it at 5.
I will just give my quick opinion about the solo play of this game.
Oh, did you try this solo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A few times.
This one, those are the wolf cards, right? In the deck.
Yeah, is that what they're called? Yeah, there's a set of cards. It wasn't the best experience solo. So that's just my opinion, and I know there are people that exclusively play solo games out there who might have maybe more solo games under their belt to know where this falls for them. I play a number of solo games, but this one kind of fell short. And that might be because I played it at 2 and even 3 players before I played solo. But there's games that I would much rather play solo that I think either become more fun or just as fun when I play solo. Like I'm thinking of Robinson Crusoe. I really do like that game solo. I think it shines. I mean, Marvel Champions can shine for a solo experience. I see a lot of people that play that solo and perfect that solo. So this one, I think, loses a little luster.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't around when you did that, obviously, because it's solo. But usually I peek in when you're playing solo games, so I don't remember what it was like. So that's good to know.
All right. So our 5th category is it worth it? Mm-hmm. Is this game worth it, Christian?
Yeah. I mean, for us, definitely. I think just the fact that we were able to play it with our friends multiple times, and then to have them take it home and also play it with us more, I think that in itself is worth it. For me, games is just getting around the table and having a good time no matter what the outcome is. And for me, it's mostly losing. And I'm okay with that. So we've had a lot of fun playing it, just you and I, Ange, and then when we added in our friend to make it 3, that was also very fun. And then to hear that other people are also enjoying this game makes it worth it.
Yeah, I think it's worth it for us. Now you're going to have to decide if it's worth it for you. Maybe you're a predominantly solo player and you'll have to weigh, like, is the artwork intriguing enough for you to try to pick it up just for a solo experience? I think it's rather expensive for the size of game and box it is.
That's true. It's a $50 game, and most modern games are $50 as well. And it's deceiving because this box is so small. But you're getting the trays, you're getting wooden pieces, you're getting awesome cards. So that in itself is worth it.
I think so. When I compare, I think of this category like very black and white. And so when I think of a game like Wingspan, that is not only bigger in components and box, it's only $10 more than this one. And I think it's way more replayable.
Yeah.
Than Parks. So you have to think about if it's worth it for you. Now for us, this game will probably be, well, it already is worth it because we've played it, as Christian mentioned, with multiple different groups of people. And it fits that short time frame that we're sometimes looking for. And there's an expansion coming, so why don't you talk about that one?
Oh, yeah, definitely. One of the reasons we wanted to talk about this is because of the recently launched expansion that came out. There's a Kickstarter earlier in the year for it. It's called Nightfall, and it has more cards, or park cards, and I think they're night-themed. Haha. There's a year deck, which... Is that the one where it like changes? What's special to that season? Yeah, every round there's like a special rule.
Or you know what? That might be the season deck. I think years might be what you get dealt the quest cards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry about that. Trying to remember what all these rules are. But yeah, and so there's like new action in this one that's camping. To be honest, I haven't really looked into it. I don't know what that means, but it comes with like little tent meeples that you can put on these park pieces. So hopefully that just obviously it adds another layer. It's really I kind of want to get it just to see like what it changes about it. So if you have parks and you're listening to us and you're like, yes, I agree with them 100% because they're always right, you should definitely check out the parks expansion. It's called Nightfall. I don't believe you cannot get this at Target. I have not seen that there, but you should be able to pick it up at your local game store soon, if not now, or it's probably on Amazon.
Yeah, that's true. I think, well, you mentioned just a little bit ago, this game has kind of worn its course for you as far as 2-player, but with an expansion, that might be a little refreshment.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool just to see some new parks. Like, I love history, which I've mentioned before on the podcast with some other games, and just like learning about like when these these parks were established and how new some of them are, which is really interesting, and how old some of them are. So being able to see more information about these parks in this new expansion is pretty cool.
Yeah. Agreed. So maybe you've decided now if Parks is right for you. And if it is, you will find it very beautiful. Perhaps even displaying it on a bookshelf.
It is display worthy. It definitely
Yes.
is. I will say one more thing. It's a great game to introduce to new board gamers. So if you're
Yep.
like us, who play a lot of games that are, quote unquote, too nerdy or too involved, this is a good one to bring to the family for holidays, or just to have a couple over to hang out for an evening. Mm-hmm. Especially if they like the outside.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're going to come back and have a little chat about things we discovered while playing this game. This episode is sponsored by Show It. Hey, Christian, why do we love Show It?
Well, we love it because we are terrible at designing websites.
That is true.
And we were able to make our site using Show It in a couple hours.
Yeah, if you're stuck in like some boring website template, you need to check out Show It and experience what they have to offer. It's really simple. It's drag and drop. And our website, if you've never been there, is beautiful, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, we use Show It to make it, and you can get started for free. Showit.co. Check it out. All right, everyone. We hope you enjoyed our little chat on parks. We had a great time playing it and chatting. I said chat a lot.
You have
talking
chat
about it. But one of the things that came up as we played this game, and a couple times in some other games we played, is questing.
Yes.
Do you want to explain what we mean by that? Yeah, Angela, why don't you explain what we mean by that?
Okay. Well, in our household, I am the resident quester. So that means that whenever we play a game, if there's some sort of quest to go on, so I'm going to think of maybe giving a specific example to help people. So in this game, there are quests you can go on. So at the end of the year, which means at the end of the whole game, they're going to give you points if you fulfilled these things. Or like Wingspan, at the end of the game, you're going to get points if you had these type of birds.
Yeah, it's kind of like end of round goals or end of game goals.
It's usually an end of game thing.
Yeah.
That gets you more points if you win on these quests. Now, a game like, and we haven't played it in a long time, but there are games that offer quests like that resolve mid game, like Scythe. So you can go on quests to discover new areas, and if you're the first to quest there, you get an opportunity to gain some sort of bonus.
Yep.
That's more of an immediate quest, and I really fall into that habit. Almost every game that has this type of mechanic, I almost always go for it, because usually it's like a decision you make. Am I gonna go hard for the quest? Or am I just going to play and hopefully, through the course of my playing, get the quest bonus? Or maybe it's a game where you don't even have to go for quests at all. And so I will always go for them.
You sure do. And you usually win or lose the game by it.
Yeah.
You mentioned, like, do I just get a quest and then see if I do it? Mm-hmm. That's usually what I do.
Yes.
Unless it's something I think I can do. Where, like, I remember in Wingspan, it was like, there was one where it said, like, oh, get birds that have location in their name. So it was like a northern whatever and a southern. And I was like, oh, I can do that. That's easier than others. And it seemed more interesting to me than ducks with big feet, or I don't even know what else they have in that game, but they just don't appeal to me unless it's like a core mechanic of the game. If the game is questing, like in like a video game sense, like here's what you have to do. You have to go to this place. You have to find this guy and you have to buy something. Okay.
All right. So that's Journeys in Middle Earth.
Yeah. If it's Journeys in Middle Earth questing, yes, I'll do it. But if it's just like end of round bonuses and I can still score points by still going to all these parks, and if I happen to get enough to fulfill my end of round quest /goal/whatever, like, okay, great.
So this is so this game brought up that difference in our play style, that no matter what the game is, if there's that questing mechanic, we tend to fall into the two opposite camps.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it just made us think. And of course, again, this is not a call-in show. Oh, it's so sad. But it made us think about, I wonder if other people fall into these types of patterns or other ones.
Yeah.
That no matter what the game is, they find themselves doing this thing, whatever the thing is. So we would love for you to chat with us about that either on Instagram or through our website if you have something where either maybe you're a quester like me, or if there's some other mechanic that you find yourself always drawn towards.
Right. Now, you love this in Wingspan. Like, there are specific birds that let you get more of these things.
Yes.
And I'm just like, why would you waste your time getting more of these things that you might not get?
Well, okay, so that is a risk you take. But usually, if you can get it early on enough, you can... There's usually a chance that you can, like, buddy them up.
Yes, you can double.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I would rather just get... I'd play my Pelican for 9 points rather than hope to get a good quest that's fulfilled something else.
Yes, but what if your Pelican gets you 9 points and it has a massive wingspan? So it can get you...
I don't know. I would never take that risk.
Oh, man. So all these things, I know it doesn't always pay off, but I just cannot not do it.
That's true. You do it all the time. It's not my favorite thing in games, but I will try my best to do them. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, I will fail.
Mm-hmm. Now, one game where I feel like it's not perfect, but I think we kind of flip-flop on this is Mariposas.
Okay.
It's not like exact, but I do think that I tend to go for the overall game mechanic of getting my birds home.
Yep.
And you tend to go for the quests.
Yeah, I learned the first couple times playing that game that it's not worth it to try to fly back to Mexico. I'm like, nope, I'm just going to stay up here.
But, of course, there's some overlap there because I do go for the quests, but I think I just want that perfectionist of all my butterflies home, and it's not a good...
No, it loses you the game.
Oh, man. And then in games like Journey to Middle-earth, the whole game is questing, so we go on the quest together.
That's right. And we lose.
And we love it.
Well, yeah, hopefully you guys have something like that. If you're a quester, let us know. If you just have to put up with it, like me, definitely let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. As we just wrap up this show, we have started talking about things that just bring us joy outside of board games.
Yeah.
Angela, do you have any right now?
That bring me, yes. So recently, and this has to do with where we live, it is the holiday season, so people have been putting up lights, and I just take extra special joy in seeing Christmas lights, especially here in Arizona, because we don't see snow.
Yeah.
So when you're driving around and you're listening to the Christmas music on the radio station or whatever, and it's just like, wow, it is not Christmassy at all.
It's kind of visual proof that it is winter and Christmas is coming for Arizona. In other places, that might be snow.
Right.
For here, it's not. So.
And now there are like those, there are bigger places that are specifically made to show off Christmas lights, and you can like pay to drive through them. I'm just talking about like neighborhoods that go all out, or that one single house every year that you're like,
I wonder what they're going to do.
Gotta drive by that house.
Yeah, we did that the other night. We just went to a neighborhood by our daughter's school, and they had street after street was just decked out. Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool. And then there's a famous one here near us that the whole block syncs to music, and you set your radio to a specific address. Yeah. And you just drive slowly through it, and all the lights dance to the music. It's really cool.
Yes, so I'm getting in the festiveness.
Festivitiness.
What?
I don't know. You like lights.
Christian, what do you like? What are you liking outside of board games right now?
I've got a couple things. I've been reading more the past couple weeks. Thank you to our board game Secret Santa. He sent me a Star Wars book. I haven't read a Star Wars book in probably like 3 years, and I read it and I loved it. And I'm going to read the next one. So Angela put this on my Christmas list. I'll take the next Thrawn book. So there you go. It was awesome. Thank you again, BGG Santa. And other than that,
can I do a joint one?
Sure.
It's for you and I.
Okay.
We've been finding joy in the HBO series The Flight Attendant.
Oh, that's true. That's definitely a good one. Check that one out. It's got Penny from Big Bang Theory in a much different role. So definitely check that out. But I've been reading more. I love watching football, so it's getting close to playoffs and fantasy football playoffs. So my mind has been occupied with that. I've been playing video games. There's a lot of new video games coming out. Cyberpunk 2077, Marvel, Spider-Man, PlayStation 5. Oh my goodness.
You got a lot on
I should
your
start
mind.
another podcast. But anyways, so that's me.
Well, he's ditching me to talk about other things.
So yeah, if you want to chat about that, hit me up. I'll chat about that forever. Oh, I thought of another one. Mandalorian, more Star Wars. It is so good. I'm starting another podcast.
Yes.
Again, we hope everybody is staying safe and healthy during this time. And any last words before we sign off?
Well, that always is a lot of pressure.
Well,
I don't...
pressure. Don't feel pressure this holiday season to find the perfect gift or cook the perfect meal.
No, just enjoy each other.
Just do the best that you can do on that day.
That's right. And we hope to talk to you soon, perhaps between Christmas and the New Year. But if not, then we'll see you right around the corner in 2021. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And we love chatting here on the Married and Bored podcast.
Later.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Married and Bored podcast. And guess what? We have a website where you can listen to podcast episodes and so much more. Find us at marriedandbored.com, or you can email us at hello@marriedandbored.com, or follow us on Instagram at marriedandbored. Music in this episode is by Joseph McDade. See you next time.